All right, Tommy.
Here we go, guys. May 1st, May Day, and not
the May Day.
not the May Day we all love.
May Day.
The sweeping of the Boston Bruins, but
May
actually
Day.
the communistic Marxist holiday,
Did
May
you-
Day.
did you?
Beautiful day in beautiful river.
It's gorgeous out. Listen, I got to say that a lot of comments last week about you kind of losing your mind. The week before the draft, actually, we did the draft last week, but the previous week, a couple people were getting wired up.
Good.
Um,
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here to try to help everybody.
So I got a couple calls. Said, "Can you calm him a little bit?" I said, "I'll try," but he's a man of passion and conviction.
Yep.
So let's see what we can do today.
See if we can get through today's show, keeping it calm, right? Let's see. Bills draft, obviously, right?
Bills draft. So let's talk about the Bills draft. I liked something that Sal Capaccio said.
That's scary.
That's scary. But he said, when people ask me, what do I think of the Bills draft? He said, I don't know. He goes, those people down on One Bills Drive know a lot more than me.
Right. And I'm kidding about it's scary.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
No, it was really good. It was a good comment. And I agree. And, you know, the bottom line with all this is, it seems to me that if you read between the lines, the Bills, when you talk to Josh, when you listen to the coordinators, when you listen to McDermott, they talked a little bit about a changing offensive structure in the league where when you're facing these defenses, they're all taking the top away. You know, they're putting the canopy on, they're playing the two deep zone, they're not letting you get behind them. So maybe the Bills looked at that and said, excuse me.
Good shit tight.
Thank you. Zig
Or,
Heil.
God forbid, God bless.
Yes, you can't say God. No, God bless you. Just say bless you and leave God out.
Right, that's so
That's
true.
what you got to do.
It's happening everywhere now, but anyways.
We know that, yeah. So anyway, long story short, I think that they see a new offense of late, and that is read your progressions, go and hit guys. They don't have to be 60 yards downfield. Now, you can argue that, but we've seen Tom Brady do it over 6 Super Bowls. Mahomes he didn't throw deep last year.
Yeah.
They're little 10-yard curls, little down and outs. You can win in this league with the wide receiver room we have when you combine it with our tight ends, our running backs, and I think we're fine. As far as the rest of it, I think we filled a lot of needs and got, the same people that go, well, we got rid of all those guys, all those vets, all that leadership. What are we going to do? We suck. We're going to blow. We're not going to do. Well, we go out and we draft for quality guys, character, leadership, and talent in areas that we need it, and everybody's going, wow, we didn't double dip.
Well, our local radio station, which is sad, it's a flagship of a $1 trillion business, but
Don't even.
they traded back, but they didn't get extra picks. No, we improved the picks we traded back for.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, it wasn't one like 59 points up. And
What it tells me, that there was 3 really top flight receivers in this draft, okay?
yeah,
And no one,
they were gone
even
by
though
8.
GR still says we could have made the massive trade up, our GM says no one was trading out of the top 10,
Right.
for whatever. Although Minnesota, there was a rumor now Minnesota maybe was trading with for 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but other than that, that was just specific players and stuff. But we improved our picks, right? The Bills, we both kind of thought Brian Thomas was an idea,
Yeah.
but obviously Jacksonville liked him, and there was no way we were going to jump that. And
No.
did they like him enough to make some kind of a trade? No, we just let a lot of players go because of the cap crunch.
Yeah.
Right? And we had to replace some people. We have to replace leadership. We lost a lot of leaders on the team.
Yes, we did.
Now, that doesn't mean the guy that's a 3-time captain at Duke or North Carolina or whatever is going to come in here and be a captain, but you can see what his DNA is like.
He's got the foundation.
All right?
Yep.
The receivers. So they got to 28, and Kansas City called, oh my God, the Chiefs. Well, I don't want my GM worrying about the friggin' Chiefs.
No.
All right? Because Mahomes could twist an ankle, and he's done, and we worried about them, and now what do? Build the best team we can build. They weren't interested in Xavier Worthy.
No, they weren't.
The Chiefs called. Well, you gave them to him. No, we moved up 35 to 40 picks, improved that, got a 3rd round pick back. We didn't want Worthy. Now, could they have taken Coleman?
Mhm.
Okay, but I think Bean was willing to say, okay,
Okay, then we take Leggett, or we take
right.
the Donnie Mitchell.
Then we got to the pick there, and then I guess New England called, but Carolina called, and we bounced to 33.
Yeah, we didn't want to bounce with New England at 34, mostly because we're
Well,
sick
it's a
of New
division
England.
rival, and you will trade with them, but not at that point, right?
Right.
So the guys on GR were actually saying, well, you could have stayed at 28 and taken Coleman, then come back at 33 and taken AD Mitchell.
There was no 30.
There was no 33 if there's a 28. Now, I know when you do the shows and you talk about it, our minds all,
Yeah.
right? I get that
Yeah.
part. But I like what they did too. I don't know. They're still on GR complaining that we have to live with the fact we gave them Worthy.
I can't live with it. I drop to my knees every night and pray to Jesus that he doesn't beat us on a fly.
I don't know if
platter.
they go down the dial to BEN or one of the other radio stations and see what's going on in this world. There's a lot more to worry about than who plays receiver for our team. Listening to the interviews of our guys,
Got that right.
there's also some really good characters that I think are going to be fan favorites. The GM of the Bills, Bean, has been in. There's only 2 teams that have been in the playoffs the last 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and that's us and the Chiefs.
You're looking at one of them. Yep.
We've also lost last
do.
season, not a whole lot of games, and I think I read where
We do.
1-score games.
I guess the last 2 years we have not lost by more than a one score.
So apparently these guys do have an idea of what they're doing over there.
No.
Now
no.
another comment was
So
made.
you know why? It's just an easy schedule.
Right.
That's what it is.
And
Oh, wait
right,
a minute.
Exactly.
One of the worst?
And by the way, they're talking about character. The Bills are character. They're so worried about character.
Mhm.
And they mention that with the Sabres, but we'll talk about that later, right?
Mhm.
Character. Oh, so we let Stephon Gilmore go because of character. We have no idea why we let Steph go. He
Nobody
might have
knows.
just wanted out.
Nobody knows.
He was a good guy. He played fine here. Him and Josh were buddies. Things end, right? There's going to be a day when Josh is gone,
Yeah.
right? So move on from that. But we have to have something there because we got rid of Steph. Well, maybe he wanted out, right? And we want guys that want to be here. So we're eating the cap. We'll have some room next year.
Yeah.
But let's talk about character for a minute.
Go ahead.
You're worried about Worthy going to the Chiefs. Well, we gave him a punter. We gave him a phenomenal punter
Yep.
off of allegations, which they said they wouldn't support the Bills if they kept that guy on the roster.
GR.
Before any verdict
Anything
came out.
Yeah, they
Von
said
Miller.
You got to get rid of him.
How can you keep a bum like that on your team? Before anything came out.
Yeah, the wife beater.
Before anything came out, right? So you guys worry about character too. All right? In fact, probably more than these guys do. No, I like the draft. I like listening to what the guys and the movies being made. Who knows, right?
Nobody
I will
knows.
say I was told about wide receiver train, but
Mhm.
as it turned out, I think the receivers went kind of where they were supposed to go.
Mhm.
And a lot of people didn't like Mitchell. We had 3 picks at him.
Yeah, we did.
He took a lot of plays off. I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
what we read.
I just know what I read, but I trust being in these guys, right? And this Worthy kid, Coleman kid,
He's a character. I love this kid.
he's
Comes
the
in talking
best
about
blocker
Macy's. He got a $78 coat.
because
And
it
he
was
goes,
chilly.
Can I go over and get some? He goes, Can I get
Blue and
at
red
that?
one.
He goes over there and he
Cookies.
picks up cookies.
But
and
you know,
and we had 3 phantom touchdowns in the stadium.
yeah, experts will tell you, well, he can't get open. He's got no separation. He did a whole lot of damage for not only Michigan State but Florida for a guy that didn't get open,
Yeah.
right?
It's Florida State.
And
yeah.
for the same other experts come on and say, well, he's similar to Mike Evans, who's had a 1,000-yard year.
Mike Evans is terrible. 8 straight years, 1,000 yards. I think he was a bust.
You got Josh, and when Josh, really, your quarterback's got to get to these receivers, right?
It all comes down to Josh, and he's one of the best there is.
And I know they talk about speed, and okay, but I can think of John Ross, and I think it's Henry Ruggs.
Ruggs and Ross were both speedsters. They couldn't catch a cold.
And we had John Brown here, and it was great, but after a while, the safeties play deeper.
That's all.
Guys, it's wonderful speed, but when it all comes down to it, these guys are all pretty damn fast.
You can't teach speed.
And
You can't coach it.
I think they use that a little too much. Like, is the guy 3 years from now? Are we still saying he's 4'1", 4'3"?
Well, they actually do, and it's ridiculous because they were talking about it the other day about who the hell ran a 4.31, but it's the Samuel. But yeah, Curtis Samuel, that was like 6 years
A
ago.
couple twisted ankles, age. I don't know, and God bless if they do, right? I mean, but I don't know.
And by the way, two good tight ends. Jesus, Shakir, Khalil, and these guys. I'm not worried at all.
Oh, and one last point. I sorry, I got lost in my track
Yeah,
there.
you got lost.
They talked about drafting more receivers down the road, and we didn't do it.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe.
And then they say in the same show, I'm done with hearing about Justin Shorter and this other fella, Khalil, something that we have on the practice squad that were rookies last year.
Yeah.
Well, they're garbage now. They weren't first round picks, so
get rid of
only
them.
these guys here can be that.
We
and
don't-
then
We
the
don't
Bills,
know about Shorter.
the Bills came out of the draft without a first round, first
Number
team
one.
number one wideout. Thank you. Why? Because he was drafted in the second round.
If you go second round, you can't be a number one X
Was
wide.
Andre Reed a wide?
I think it was Kutztown, and I think it was third round.
Honest to
By
God.
the way, Coleman reaches out. First time ever, Andre Reed says, a Bills draft choice reached out to me for tips. Well, I like that.
And all of it. So I like the draft. We guys are calling up an F minus and stuff. What I'd like to see is a show
Mhm.
where they go
Buddy.
back like 2020, right?
Oh, I know.
And redo the draft, not for 9 hours in community
Right.
service information, but and then a couple of the comments that the experts said.
I would love that.
Like they played one clip last the draft night where New York Jets are on the clock. Well, the pick here is Dan Marino.
right.
The New York Jets are pleased and tickled to select Ken O'Brien. And
Right.
you have the Jets intel. Well, let me say,
Yeah.
all right,
The intel sucked.
let's just go back and whatever. But
Remember
anyways,
they said Marino smoked marijuana. That was the big thing that
Right.
dropped him.
and then the draft and stuff. And who always gets the highest marks? Well, the Chicago
Well,
Bears with
whoever
2 picks in the
drafted number
top
1.
10. The Bills guys drafted.
We
They didn't-
always draft 28,
They
30.
didn't draft 5th or 6th and come out with Coleman.
Right.
They drafted 28th and then actually back to 33. So it's too bad we have this
Terrible
which
station.
most people get all their information from. One other thing I noticed
Not me, though.
listening, because I listened to the draft, especially Saturday,
Mhm.
the
So did
day
I.
3, and the interviews they go to. Now I'm not going to name names here,
Okay.
but
Don't go
what
names.
what came to in light real quick, or what's the way right to it was open. I got it.
Came to light?
Not that, but it became apparent.
Oh, parent.
Who was asking the questions? The guy from the Batavia Penny Saver,
Penny Saver.
the girl from the
Mookie.
Buffalo News. I'm not going to mention names, but
Oh, sorry.
the guy from Buffalo Sports. Where was Capaccio also was there, right?
Right.
But where was Channel 2, Channel 4, 7? What,
Yeah.
they just go home Saturday? It's over?
Yeah, it's over. And,
We got the guy from the Batavia,
I just wanted to show some skirt. I don't care what they say.
and then the girl from Kathy Fitzgerald or something from the Buffalo News. Anyways, I'm not. Let's wait and see, right?
Wait and see. Absolutely. And the Bills, they're gonna be fun again, guys. We got a tough schedule, but we're gonna be right there again. Now, can we win a Super Bowl?
Oh, we took
we
a
need
lot.
an act of God. I think there's a lot of luck needed. There's a
There
lot of
is.
no injuries or few injuries. We need help, and we might need an act of God. But why not us?
We took a linebacker that is a special teams guy. Well, he played a very similar D to
Mhm.
what we played here. In fact, they used Milano and Edmonds as their expert, their film for their college
They
team.
did. Yeah, it was interesting. And Cole Bishop is a hell of a player. And,
Yeah, he is.
we got a white safety. Yeah,
That's
4-4-1
not
white
racist.
safety. Not racist at all. What
Just-
if I said, we got a black safety?
Hee.
Aye.
Well, you know what happened there.
Yeah.
So,
No.
anyways, I think time will tell, right?
Only time will tell.
Sabres, not much to say there. Obviously, the off season. I
Mhm.
did change my thought a little bit on some of these series. I can't stomach Boston anymore.
No.
And this
I
Marchand,
want Toronto.
this
badly.
Marchand gets away with more bullshit. He tackled a guy last night, then stood up and fell down, and the hand went up, and they both went. This Boston shit's got to come to an end.
It's got to come to an end. And you know what? Then Toronto can lose in the next round. But I'll
Right.
tell you something. I can't stomach that city, that town. They're in tight. The Red Sox, and now the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. I can't do it anymore.
Some interesting things that listening to these games and stuff. Toronto's power play has been horrible,
Right.
and look at the guns they have.
Yeah.
I think they're playing similar to ours, but of course, when power plays stink, there's going to be similarities, right?
Right.
But 2-point heavy for Toronto, right? They don't get in there to the net and stuff and take the shot when they have it. They look for a fancy play. But Phil Esposito, I was listening to Tampa, and here we hear go to the net, and you've heard on this show where there's go to the net, but not just standing there. That's not the answer to all problems.
Mhm.
Esposito said, look at this here. Now, he was doing the color TV radio. I was listening on radio. He said Nagel and whatever the other guy is are both in the blue with their defenseman. He goes, can someone tell me how the puck's getting in there? Have we not said that on our show?
There's not many
He
openings.
goes, there's an act of hanging around the crease
Right.
and reading the play. So they
And
were
by the way,
upset about that.
Sam Reinhart is an expert at that.
Reinhardt is awesome at that. But the only other thing I will say about the Sabres, when they're GR brought up all these guys, ex-Sabres playing well in the playoffs. And look what we did. And character issues. They brought up character. Well, Eichel couldn't be here. And O'Reilly couldn't be here. And now Middlestat just got quoted by McKinnon as being a great acquisition. He's got 6 points in 5 games for them. You guys told me, I mean, told me that these guys had issues and had to go.
They had to go.
Right? You guys, your beat reporter and everybody said that. You told me we have too many Middlestats, okay? Peyton Krebs with skate analytics, with better wingers, could do the same. Well, he didn't.
No,
Doesn't
he
mean he won't. But
he
we
didn't.
gave up a pretty good goddamn hockey player.